another exciting episode of Speculative Tolkienism.
So it opens up. Gandalf's again. I'll just call him Gandalf. He's having these nightmares about Nori.
Snoring? Who's snoring?
That's dumb.
I saw something.
So here's okay. Hey, it looks like it's me and you hanging out in Bombadil's house.
Yeah, I know. Hey,
guys.
I'm Gandalf. Why am I here?
I am eldest.
Can you give me some kind of pearl of wisdom, because I can't find my ass?
I can find some wisdom for you, but you have to find it yourself. Otherwise, it's not true wisdom.
Yeah.
Hey,
hilarious.
But speaking of finding things, I know you're supposed to be looking for this Nori person, and that wide awake daydream nightmare that you just had is only serving the purpose of reminding the audience that you're still supposed to be looking for Nori. The last time Gandalf saw Nori, she was literally being blown away in this windstorm. He sees her fly off into the distance, into the sunset. Is he like looking for Nori with any urgency? He's just sitting there talking to this guy with no sense of urgency, looking for sticks, chasing his map. So now we're back in this room. He has not been looking for Nori, nor does he seem concerned about her whereabouts.
Right.
Although he just had a little dream to remind himself that she must be in some kind of crisis, some kind of pain or urgency. So they're still kind of plodding through.
Dark Wizard found his staff. And now the time has come for you to find yours.
Which one is it?
Oh my God.
You'll find your true staff only when the vision of your heart is single to the surface of the secret fire.
That is so cringe.
Dude, okay, did you ever see The Dark Crystal?
Yeah, of course. The original.
Okay,
yeah.
do you remember? Yeah, do you remember when Jen was looking for the crystal, and he found Agra, and he's like, "I'm looking for a shard of crystal," and then she's like, "Oh, a shard of crystal, eh?" And then threw out the whole bag of crystals. And like,
right.
How do I find it?
You want a shard? Here.
Oh, so now it's
exactly what they did in this scene.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, how do I find my staff? It's like, well, I hope maybe you have a magical flute that you can play a note and then you can find your staff. I mean, it's really dumb.
Oh, and if only your heart is pure, you will find the correct crystal among all these thousands.
Right. And it's going to go down, break down to like, he's going to have 3 staffs left and he doesn't know which one it is. And then
right. It doesn't feel Tolkienistic at all. And I have to say, a bit of a stretch maybe, but I just see it like this is Amazon, right? Amazon created this. And it seems to be putting a lot of emphasis on the idea of like, you have this 1 million choices, you know, just like you do on Amazon. And it's all about purchasing power. It's like, oh, look at we're in this like advanced capitalistic society with like 1 million choices, and it's up to you. And you put a lot of almost emotional or almost religious emphasis on like, I will make my choice for the purchase of the product that appeals to me or that sings to me or speaks to me. And like, oh, look, go find your product. Get your product out there that's somewhere out there that will speak to you. Again, I was like, oh, can I get a discount on this one?
All right. I'm going to price compare. You know what?
I'm going to read the reviews on this one.
Yeah, I know. It's like, is this a sponsored one or our customer, like the customer review's good? You know what though? Here's the thing. And then this is just me. Like, okay. And again, I'm going to come back to my Star Wars references, but when we were kids and Boba Fett came on the screen, you're like, oh my God, who's Boba Fett? That's the coolest thing ever. Like Boba Fett was so mysterious.
Right.
And because he had no background, he was like the man with no name, like Clint Eastwood, the man with no name. You don't know where he comes from. He just arrives complete.
Like a masked villain.
Right. Or whatever.
Right.
And when they started explaining Boba Fett's backstory, it ruined it for me. It's like, okay. So what I'm getting at is like, I don't want Gandalf's backstory. He should not have a backstory. Like the wizards should just be here. You know what I'm talking about? they arrived from over the seas, much like they were like as
They
wise
arrived
and old
complete.
men. Yeah, they arrived complete. I don't need to see the becoming of Gandalf because it's just.
But the thing
It
is,
ru-
it's even as backstory, it's disappointing because we want a true backstory is like this person struggled and suffered in the alchemical fire of like struggle to become who they are. But this guy's just kind of plodding along, getting pearls of non-wisdom from this Oprah type like hippie guy that he met on the side of the road. And he's not struggling. He's just sitting there enduring the wisdom that no one else cares about and the audience doesn't care about, and it just seems so unconvincing. We have to endure the wisdom. That is his struggle, is to endure the wisdom.
Right. It's like Gandalf is the first member of the Bombadil cult. You know what I'm saying?
Bombadil's trying to establish his cult. He's
like, and now we're gonna go out and we're gonna find more people to follow. And like it's gonna be like this big pyramid scheme where Gandalf's like, now you got to find 3 people
if you
to
get
come
in.
back.
If you get in the door now, go ahead.
And they find 3 more people, and then they find 3 more people, and then pretty soon you have this whole cult, and Gandalf can retire to the Numenor.
He's like, if you look at all these sticks, I'm trying to do his voice. If you take a few and give 5 to each of your friends, and each of your 5 friends find 5 friends to give to their friends, you will be at the top of a pyramid, and you will control all.
And at the top of the pyramid is the eye.
Bombadil is so pompous that he acts like, oh, if you're really smart and you're moral and a good person, you will put more emphasis on the stick finding game than you will on the Nori finding game.
Right.
And it's just weird. It just comes across as super weird.
It'll be funny. I found the stick. Now what? No, you've got to learn how to control the stick.
Exactly.
Watching up there.
Hold on, let me.
Got all the time you need.
So it says you have all the time you need to go out and look through all those sticks to find the right one, right? And then listen to what old Gandalf says.
There is somewhere else you wish to be.
Unless there is somewhere else you wish to be, like going to find your friend.
I saw her, Nori. She was. Somehow I know that.
He saw her. What he says, what he means, what the writers mean for him to mean right now is that he saw her in his little vision that he just had.
Right.
But what we're thinking is he actually just saw Nori just the last time he saw her when we saw them together, he saw her fly off into the distance.
Right.
And now he's like,
Unless I find her soon, she will die.
Unless I find her soon, she will die. Yeah, because she's probably bleeding out from having fallen from 300 yards in the sky.
Yeah.
That's what a normal person would think, because he just saw her in this hellish like moment where she was flying up into the sunset. And he's like, oh, I have this premonition. I have this odd premonition that unless I find her, she will die.
But don't you think that from a drama standpoint, or from I don't know if this is cheaping out or what, but like Gandalf should have resigned himself to the fact that, yeah, Nori's dead and I'm lost and alone, and I find Bombadil, and then like all of a sudden, like with like he's been acting the whole time like Nori's alive, right?
Well, I don't know. He hasn't really been thinking about Nori, strangely, until he has little nightmare daydreams about her, where I'm like, you just saw your friend literally fly off into the blue, and you're not doing anything about it, and you're just plodding along, and now he's acting like, I mean, it actually would have made much more sense if it was like what you just said, like, if he thought she was dead, if he was like, oh shoot, I just killed my friend, that would have actually given more weight to this scene, because he could be like, I just killed my best friend because I can't control my magic. Can you help me?
Yes.
Why didn't he say that?
Dude, it's like Luke and Yoda. It's like, I've got to go help my friends. Like, this is Empire Strikes Back, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
I got to help my friends. Oh, but learn you must first.
Right. Like I gotta you gotta complete your training, but they're my friends. You know, is that really the line? Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't know. It's paraphrased, but he had to leave Dagobah. Luke had to leave Dagobah to go and save his friends.
Them will die.
Many that die deserve life. Some that live deserve death. Who are you to give it to them?
What a jerk!
I know.
That's Gandalf's line.
Yeah, but it's when Gandalf, when in the book, I can't remember what the exact line was. He phrased it in a way that was a teachable moment, I guess, for Frodo.
Right.
And it was actually a very important line in the whole in the Gollum Frodo dynamic.
Right. And the reason
this means nothing.
The reason it means nothing, and the reason they fucked it up, is because in the Lord of the Rings, that line, they were talking about Gollum.
Yeah.
That makes all the difference. Because that line only makes sense when you're talking about, oh, we should have killed this person who's evil and corrupt and dastardly. We should kill him. And you say to that, well, who are you to give someone death? That makes sense. That seems like a moral option. This is like, you shouldn't be looking for your friend who's lost. She might be dead. Who cares? Go pick up some sticks.
Go grab a stick.
Go find your stick. Don't worry. Who are you to divvy out life and death? Forget about your friend who might be dying under a shrub and go find a stick. That's what he's saying. And that's why it's different than the freaking thing applying that same line to Gollum, which makes so much more sense. And this is why they suck as writers.
Because the fact that Frodo harkened back to that line when he finally met Gollum and had the chance to make that moral decision. Yeah. And he was like, oh, I remember what Gandalf said. It was like one of the most important lines really in the Lord of the Rings. If you think about it.
It's like the key, the cornerstone almost of so much in Lord of the Rings. And it makes sense all the way to the end where Gollum falls into to the mountain.
Because when you think about it, that decision affected the fate of all of Middle Earth.
You could say that
originated with that line.
You could say that line destroyed the ring.
Right.
Because if they had killed Gollum, that ring wouldn't have got destroyed. The ring went into the fire. Almost getting choked up even thinking about it. How cool that is. That line was what destroyed the ring, because it saved Gollum until the end when he was for him to do the one thing that redeemed him.
Right.
And
they kind of, it's like a toss-off line to make.
And they're just throwing it away. This is what I mean. Yeah. It's not that they're just taking stuff. They're taking it and perverting it and making it stupid. And this is a perfect example.
Okay.
Once I know that she's safe, I could return to you.
No. You cannot.
No, you can't return. Because shopping hours are closing and the sale only lasts for one day.
And Yoda will not let you return to finish your training.
Right. Exactly. One
there
shot.
There are times when one path becomes two, and you must choose.
You must choose between your friend and these colossal deals we have on sticks.
Come on, man.
What moral is that sending to people? It's so stupid.
Will you abandon them to their doom?
She is my friend.
Your friend or your destiny?
See, he wants us to think, oh, this is such a poignant moment. It's so much dramatic weight here, but there's no weight here because he's been ignoring Nori this whole time. Like, she flew away and he's just kind of been wandering around, picking up sticks, like talking to weirdos.
The choice is yours.
The choice is yours. Get busy. Start picking. Oh, he vanished.
Where did Bombadil go?
It's so weird. Funny how he can do that. That's magic.
And again, it was Gandalf the whole time. This is like Fight Club.
But did Bombadil really even exist, or was that just a spirit?
Right. Oh, dude, this is totally like Fight Club, because you never know the name of the stranger, right?
Right.
It's like Ed Norton. And then Bombadil disappears when you need him the most. That's Tyler Durden. So it's like Tom Bombadil is like Tyler Durden. So here we go.
Exactly. Hey, there you go. Ripped off yet another classic.